Yeah.
Hi, Bex.
Hi, who's that you've got on your shirt? Is that Trixie?
Yes, Trixie and Katia. I made sure to.
Yes, love
I
that.
had to. Yeah, I had to make sure that I got an appropriate one for today. And I
I
knew
love
this was
that.
buried somewhere, so I figured I'd just pull it out.
Oh, I'm jealous. I want that one.
Ah. Okay. So starting off, what inspired you to get into music? Where did the whole thing kind of start for you?
Oh God, girl, we're going back to Bundaberg. I got my first songwriting gig at 9 years old. I wrote a jingle for a local hairdresser's salon, and it ran for 4 years.
Oh.
Then I was a country music master queen. And
Mm-hmm.
then I deviated away from music and I didn't return back to music until I was in my 20s on the road selling handbags out of the back of my car along the east coast of Australia, listening to the radio and Bertie Blackman. And I thought, God damn it, if I could write a jingle, I'm going to go back and I'm going to see what I can do. I was also studying to be an actress, but I didn't feel that that was the right creative medium for me. So I would stop at roadside motels and get out the fan and sing into the fan. And I, that's where it started, babes.
Mm. So you mentioned a few artists there. Who are the ones that you particularly looked up to? Like you wanted to emulate, sort of.
Well, there's been so many icons along the way.
Mm.
Probably my biggest fandom was the Spice Girls. This was
Mm.
before I was working. At least, employed. I was working. I
Okay.
was working the spare room in primary school, running my first Spice Girls fan club, the official Bundaberg Spice Girls fan club, making my own merch, recreating the music videos, and training the girls.
Mm-hmm.
I was Posh Spice, of course,
Aw,
the poorest girl in the town, wanting to be the richest girl,
isn't
uh,
it always the way?
cosplaying my future possible self. And yeah, along the way, there's been so many more idols, babes. I'm very influenced by Peaches, Latigra, Karen O from the Yeah Yeah Yeahs, Kylie Minogue, Lady Hawk.
Mm.
I definitely have a rebellious side to me. So any of the pop girlies like Kesha that have
Mm.
grit and dirt, obviously Gaga,
Mm.
I'm really attracted to dirty pop stars. If it's too
Mm.
clean, I don't want it.
Very good point. So speaking of getting hands in there and getting dirty, what is the creative process like with making music? Do you come in with a particular idea? Do you pull from real life? How does the recording process go?
Well, I pray for trauma, darling, because when my life is smooth sailing, I'm learning to find ways to get creative with that. But for my last EP, Hard Gloss,
Mm.
I prayed, and on the day I went into the studio with Palmer in the UK, I got dumped, and the
Oh.
it was magnificent. And so that's where melodrama and Who You Kidding,
Mm.
um, they came from that session. So as an artist, I've been touring the world for the last 5 years, writing with thousands of other artists, top lines,
Mm.
K-pop, hardstyle, EDM, everything. But in the last year, I've really sophisticated my process and realized that I don't need a lot of voices in the room. In fact, now I predominantly just work with one person.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that I've overcome a lot of insecurities about my writing, and I feel confident that my work is strong.
Good. Good. It's always good to have that self-belief in yourself and being able to carry that forward. So when a new listener listens to a Bex track for the first time, what are some of the hallmarks that they'll expect to hear?
Oh, okay. Well, we're obviously they're gonna hear all the good boys are gay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So the girlies are going to get a lesson in dating, and then they're going to appreciate their mum or their dad or their sister through my song "A Love Like This."
Mm.
Then they're going to hit melodrama and they're going to realize that they're the prize. So,
Mm,
you know, I do have an eclectic mix of music right now. And then they're going to hit Nice Try, which is essentially, um, you know, it speaks about my political agenda and
mm.
what side I stand with. And it's definitely not with Pauline Hanson.
Absolutely not. Thank God. Those two songs that you mentioned, Melodrama and A Love Like This, they've had a lot of virality recently. I think A Love Like This was played on Home and Away, which is a pretty big deal. How did you feel when all of that happened?
I was shocked because that song was written and recorded in a deal 11 years ago. I signed away my rights to the masters.
Mm,
It was recorded by John Castle, who made Riptide. So it
mm,
was magnificent. However, I didn't own the masters and it was written using my dad's words.
mm,
And it was a tribute to my father who raised me with music, but never got to pursue it professionally because he wanted to provide for me and my brothers and sisters so we could pursue our dreams. And so, after a decade of him begging me to try and acquire this song back, he passed away last year of terminal cancer. And I used the inheritance to buy the masters back. And I released the song just thinking this is going to be nice for my dad's friends and my family listen to. And I posted it and it went super viral. And again, I posted it again a few weeks ago and it went even more viral. I think it's had, 5 million hits. And
wow.
I'm like, Dad, it's the wrong song. Like, I'm making EDM. Like,
Yes.
getting me into a Fleetwood Mac like
Oh,
gallery.
oh
Like,
no.
um, and yeah, like Kesha's reshared it, Diplo's reshared it.
Wow.
So I'm just letting I'm in service to the fans of music. So I'm just letting them
Mm,
guide me. And if this is my destiny, then pull out the feathers and the bell bottoms because maybe I am a whimsical queen.
I did want to mention that because the two songs are very different in genre and recent releases have sort of been more rock based. Are we seeing a bit of a genre change? If so, why?
I'm definitely being informed, but
Mm,
my heart is in pop and I'm making more pop and I've always been on my pop journey. I hope that I can provide clarity in my work by giving
mm,
more EDM pop and serving that, but also I can't ignore that people are connecting with my other work.
mm,
I really am at this stage just listening to my fans. And
mhm,
at the end of the day, babe, like a girlie can go to the club all night and have a gaggle in the smoking section, but deep down, she might have just lost her dad. And
yeah.
maybe I can provide that dynamic experience and a deeper sense of soothing to my listeners.
Mm. It's very much what my music journey would have been like last year. Like a lot of pop bops, but also a lot of like emotional stuff to carry through at home sort of things with dad as well. He's okay. There's just a lot of medically sort of things. So it's very odd how these sort of line up in a sense.
Yeah. And, my dad was super straight and a country,
Mm.
like old school boomer, but I think he gifted me something because I literally got the call from Drag Race 2 days after he passed away.
Oh, wow. Like that is a pretty big deal. And I do want to mention Drag Race because this is a pretty big collaborative moment for you. How did, obviously, with everything that happened, how was that getting that call knowing that they wanted you? They wanted you to give your wisdom, your advice to the girls. How did that feel?
I was like, are you guys sure? Like, isn't Jessica Malboy available? Like,
I think Seven have her all tied up in knots, but
um, it was like, wow, wow. I,
mm,
I honestly was shocked because there are a lot of queer talent, but I guess when I thought about it,
mm,
I was like, well, there actually there isn't that we've platformed in a way. Like there's the big girlies, Kylie. I just assumed that Kylie was out of budget, so I was the next best
mm,
thing, to be honest. um but it was a moment that just I was shocked. And then when I got on set, the producers pulled me aside and they're like, we just want to tell you, like, we know that you might not have the biggest profile on the mainstream market, but when we put your name forward to a huge consensus of a huge census of artists in this space, and we gave them a list of 10 names, your name consistently came up as as their favorite artist. So that was like just it was just amazing, babes, because I'm not going to be victimized by the landscape that is
mm,
Australian music, that, pop artists don't really get a go from ground zero. But
mm.
this felt nice. Like, okay, it's go where your, what is the saying? Go where
Go
your,
where your heart takes you.
it's go where you're celebrated, not tolerated.
Oh, that's a good one. That is a really good one. That must have been so amazing to hear that your name consistently popped up in production. Like you never know who could be listening.
Well, I do now, and it's RuPaul. And I was like, when's the collab?
When's the collab coming? How was the day on set? How were Michelle, Reese, Lazy Susan? Was there anything that happened on that set where you were like, oh, that's how they do that? I never thought that they did it that way.
Well, the whole day was insane. Like there was no contact between myself and the Queen. So I had a glam room
Mm,
and I had a glam team. And if I wanted to go to the bathroom, they'd have to have a walkie-talkie. There was someone standing at the door at all times. Toilets clear, come back, toilets clear, let's go. Um, it was a long day and it gave me even more respect for these queens. It's
mm,
an endurance sport. I challenge any man to stand in a 6-inch heel with
mm.
a wig on for 12 hours on set. I
Yeah.
I was popping the Panadols and I was only in a wig for, I honestly thought my brain was going to explode. I was snatched so hard.
Yeah.
So, it gave me a, like, these girls were in pain. They were fighting for it.
I've
They were
heard lots of
fighting.
stories about those sorts of things where there's long shooting days.
It is so, it's a long, long, long day. It is glam gladiator.
Mm.
It's like the Survivor Challenge
Basically, it's the
of show
Olympics of
business.
drag pretty much from what's been said multiple times.
Yeah.
I do want to mention the day that the promo came out, and I remember this because I looked at the promos first thing in the morning, but I zoned in on this comment that was left on YouTube, and it was from @lukewarmers, who said, Bex is a guest judge. Our girl is in the mainstream. Please let there be a melodrama lip sync. Guess what? There is
Yeah.
apparently. Congratulations for that. First and foremost, did you find out when they reached out to you they wanted the song? And how did it feel knowing that your music was going to dictate how long the girls stayed in the competition?
Well, first of all, I was shocked that it wasn't All the Good Boys Are Gay. I was like, are you sure you guys got the right song here?
Yeah, it's wondering. Sometimes it's like, oh, why didn't you pick this one? But all
Yeah,
things happen for a reason, I guess.
exactly. But yeah, when they chose melodrama, I was like, oh, okay, girls got taste, because All the Good
Mm,
Boys Are Gay is the obvious choice. And whenever I've been on, any drag events, the
Mm.
queens always roast me as, oh, Bex has got that one song, All the Good Boys Are Gay. So the fact that they chose the fact that they chose one of my other songs was like, okay, you've got taste, and I really respect that. But when I saw who was lip syncing for their life to that
Oh,
song, I I was crying. I was
oh,
like I was like proud auntie. It was crazy. It
mm,
like they would have had I was like, and that's a wordy song. So they had to
mm.
learn all the words.
Yeah,
And I'm like, thank you, Drag Race. You have like because all of the girls had to learn all the words. Like, because they
mm,
didn't know who was gonna be up for elimination. Right?
yeah,
So I've got all of my favorite queens from around the world with my song stuck in their head. I'm like,
mm.
very clever. Very clever.
Definitely. What was the next thing that I was gonna, this is what I was going to mention. I know that we've mentioned production, like all the people that have listened to your music, but have you thought about the fact of your music reaching a new level? Because some of the songs that happen on Drag Race, take for example Alter Ego by Doechii a couple of years ago, that went from being a droplet single to then Lexi Love performing it, and then all of a sudden it was a massive crowd favorite. Have you thought about the fact your music is not just reaching the audience at home on Stan on Friday, but people are going to be listening to this song all around the world? Like,
Yes. That's why I sat in a wig with my brain about to explode for 7 hours. I'm hoping it finds new people. I can't
definitely.
wait. I want to have people in the Philippines and Ireland and
Mm.
Germany. I want to hear it all over the world. I want to share that with everybody. And I hope it has that impact.
Is there anyone that you're specifically rooting for, or any of the girls you hadn't seen before that surprised you?
Well, I love Art Simone.
Mm.
Art Simone will always be my girl.
Mm.
I have worked with Art Simone. I've produced her first single, uh,
Mm.
Encore with etc. etc.
Oh,
And
yeah.
another queen that really um, Miss Jade So.
Yes, I absolutely love
Oh,
her.
that body
Mm.
tea. Oh,
And she is so funny. Her exit speech on Drag Race Philippines, I like stood up at home and gave it a standing ovation because it was so funny. It was so perfect.
she is just like in person too, like mesmerizingly beautiful.
Mm,
So and
absolutely.
and I know for sure she knows all the words to Melodrama.
Yes, because they all had to lip sync it. Even if you're in the top, you can't be too certain because they may end up having a top two. You never know.
Particularly Jade is very familiar with that song.
Mm. So I can definitely tell that this must have been a very big moment in your career.
It was.
Like we've just gone stepping up so many things. So you've gotten yourself sort of a new sound. You're branching out into all different sounds. You've gotten to show your stuff on multiple platforms. You've had Mighty Hoopla, you've had Home and Away, and now Drag Race. And what else is in the cards for you this year that you can say? Any new music, tours,
Yeah.
an album?
Well, actually, there was something that you said earlier
Mm.
that reminded me. I've got a Melodrama remix pack coming out.
Oh, is that going to come on Friday with the thing?
It's not coming on Friday, but it's coming throughout the entire season. You're going to get multiple versions of Melodrama.
Oh, so we're
And
really capitalizing on this.
yes, yes, we are going in hard on Melodrama. And I've got Vanessa who did she's a queer DJ from New York. She did the iconic Lady Gaga Doechii Runway remix.
Mm.
She also did Let's Have a Kiki remix.
Yeah,
Uh,
Scissor Sisters, yeah.
yes, exactly. And then I'm working with some other, which I can't announce right now, but there's remixes of Melodrama coming. You're not going to get sick of it. There's going to be so many
Mhm.
versions. You can listen to it all day long in all different ways. And then I'm performing at Amsterdam Pride, coming home
Mhm.
performing at the Victorian Pride Awards. And then I'm just leaning on my peeps to tell me what's going to happen next. I would love to be going out and doing more tours. I'm looking for a booking agent if anyone knows one. Um,
Hopefully, this video reaches the right people.
I hope so. I hope so. And yeah, I want to keep being present in live spaces with my fans. That's my goal.